Well, you got to add in the Missouri Valley Conference was one of the top baseball leagues in the country. So nothing was given to us. We had great teams in our conference like Southern Illinois, Illinois State, team Wichita State, teams like that that were really very good. So for us, it was a matter of getting respect. And once we learned our fall of '78, before our '79 season, that we could compete, that's when it started turning around. And even though we were always labeled the underdogs, we had enough heart and dedication to take it to them. And that's pretty much where we got our whole slogan of House of Shock. Because no one expected a northern school like Indiana State to go down and compete against Mississippi State and teams like that.
A great combination of people, as is any successful endeavor. The players all really loved one another. They just really had an element that is so necessary if success is going to be arrived at, and they were bound to be successful. They weren't going to give in, and we came out of nowhere, kind of like the Cubs did a few years ago, where the names were not on baseball cards yet, and all of a sudden they win the pennant. We had a lot of support from their families, the players themselves. My athletic director was a baseball enthusiast. Our president loved baseball, great Yankee fan. He went to Arizona State. So there was just a lot of buzz going on all the time, whether you won or you lost. And I think those elements set the stage for what was to come.
Well, again, I talked about the fact that we were at Val Field for a number of years, and actually going to that field, I think I had a better Little League field than Val Field was at that time. We had to, every night we threw rocks off the field. We had to groom it. We had to pick up paper and bottles and rocks. We had to take a bus from the campus to Val Field, and when the bus broke down, we had to run back to make sure that we were able to get into, use, I think it was Rhodes Hall, in order to have dinner before they closed the lines to eat. I remember Southern Illinois University coming in, and the first thing I think Itchy Jones, who was the coach there, would say how dirty he always felt when he came to Val Field. So there were a lot of obstacles. There were a lot of naysayers as well who thought, because a lot of the guys that came in that first year in 1976 came from a junior college, Iowa Western Community College, and they weren't sure that they were going to stay around. They weren't sure that we could actually build a winner, and so those obstacles were many. I think Coach Warren, that was his first year there, and people were a little skeptical about what he would and wouldn't be able to do. So we had a lot of naysayers that we were able to understand that we were for real, and we were really building a dream, and it was really Coach Warren's vision.
That's a good question, because once again, believe it or not, I was pretty quiet during my baseball career here. So I just listened to the stories of Phil Thatcher and guys of that nature, the Dick Grappin things, and just enjoyed the whole experience. Nothing comes to my mind outside the road trips, the Turner bus line, get on the Turner bus and going here and going there. Those memories of road trips were really got you ready for minor league baseball too, because you was always on the road in buses. But no, I can't think of anything specifically, but I'm pretty sure my teammates can fill in that void.
Well, again, I think, well, for me, running 100 sprints at tryouts, and watching all of those guys fall by the wayside as Coach Warren would stand there and just kind of say another, waking up at 4:30 in the morning to get to a 5 o'clock practice at one of the, I can't remember, it was it's not the MP, I think that's the U of I, but I think it was right across from Gillum Hall, and practicing until 7:15, and Coach telling us, well, you at least have a little time to get to breakfast. Those late night weightlifting sessions down in the basement of that facility, which I think they might have had 3 light bulbs, and then trying to hit off of a machine in that same area. All of those things I'll never forget. And for me, that was part of my Indiana State experience. And I'm looking forward to sharing that time and those memories again with some of the guys who are coming back. I wish everyone could, but I know how challenging that can be. I also remember the fact that Hoot Madison, who actually taught me how to tie a tie. See, Hoot, I'm right there now, right? You know, the names that come back: Rashawn, Van Pelt, Elliott, McPhail, Rasmussen, Brisson, the late Jeff Brisson, who was a great guy, and Osborne. Again, I think about those guys. I think where I could have been, and I think that for me, it was a great experience, understanding what it takes to win, what it takes to be successful. And again, I thank Indiana State for that, and Coach Warren and the guys that I played with.
I just want them to know, and I'm sure they know this, that they were special. They are special. Nothing I wouldn't do for any of them, because I know that's the way they feel toward our family, and I just think that I'd like them to remember their current program. We have an outstanding coach who is also an alum, does a great job, maybe one of the greatest coaches to ever coach in college. Before he's done, I'm sure he's gonna do even more great things, and they'll just keep mounting. I'd like to see our past guys be aware of that and to keep helping our current program. Our current university is always in need, and that's where their heart is, and I would like to see that happen, and I want to thank them all for coming back to spend the weekend. And they made this 35-year-old guy real happy.